I guess we're in a hurry tonight, so will the meeting come to order? Approval of the agenda. Would someone be willing to make a
I
motion?
move we approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay. And we're acknowledging our guests. Chris, welcome. Curtis.
Close enough.
I started with a C.
Begins with C, ends with an S. Good to go.
Okay, and has everybody had an opportunity to look at the minutes of the last meeting?
Yes.
Are there any corrections or additions? If not, someone make a motion to approve?
I make the motion that we approve.
Okay, and is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been, all in favor? Aye. And opposed, nay? Okay. Jeannie, have you finished the claims? Okay.
Girl skipped that.
Okay, and does anybody have any reports from their committees? Okay. Library director's report.
I just wanted to, you got the department report, so I won't go over all of that stuff. Just a few things though. The annual report was completed this month, and if anybody would like to see it, I have a copy of it. It will be condensing some of this information into like a one-page summary to give to you guys and to the county supervisors and the city council about some of the statistics. I just wanted to mention a few things though. Last year was a good year again for our stats. We were up in several different areas. Circulation-wise, we were up about 4,000 circulations for the year from last year, which is really excellent.
Wow.
And that would be adult books circulated more, children's books just a little bit more. The big ones though were DVDs and virtual circulation, which would be ebooks and audiobooks through Wilbur. So those two things really bumped up the circulation numbers for the year. So it's nice to see that people are using those services. Circulation to our own city, to Sac City, was higher than it was last year, as opposed to who we served in the county last year. So county stats to the rural population have gone down slightly, and city population has gone up, and I just think that is attributed to fewer people living in the country, fewer people, maybe they're moving to the communities around us too, because circulation through open access to the other towns in Sac County were up as well. So that's something that I've noticed. Interlibrary loan provided to other libraries, which would be when we get a request for our library to send something to them, that was up this past year. And let's see what else. Program attendance was way up. It was up about 300 people attending library programs, which is really nice to see. And meeting room use was also way up this year by about 250 people using the meeting room space. So these are really good stats to see that people are using the library more, that our circulation is going up. So I'm really, really pleased with our annual survey this year. So, like I said, I'll be giving you guys a one-page summary in the future. This past month we went, Wilbur added Kindle books to the format that's available. You may have seen the press release we did in the paper, and on our website we've got a little notice. We've got instruction sheets for people. So now people that had Kindles before, they couldn't use Wilbur because the format wasn't compatible with their e-reader, but now it is. It's a little bit different. When they check something out, instead of using Adobe Digital Editions, they will actually, when they check a book out through Wilbur, it directs them to Amazon, where they check out like they would if they were buying a book. So it'll look really familiar to those people. And the people that have Kindles that are using this say it is so easy, and it's easier than like if you have a Nook or you have another device. So this this Christmas, I'm thinking that Kindles will be high on people's wish list because their prices are lower. They've gone down recently. They just released the Kindle Fire, which is their new color e-reader, which is it's kind of nice. So we'll see how that goes, but I think a lot more people will be coming in using Kindles. They actually have. We've had 2 or 3 people come in since last week.
It's just like the Wilbur that we used on
Yes, it's the
MP3.
same. Yeah, it's the same catalog. They're going through our same catalog, but now they're able. Now instead of just seeing PDF and EPUB files, you're also going to see a Kindle file as well for most of the titles that we
I have
purchased.
to be sure and tell Linda
So-
that because she was asking me just not too long ago
Which should be good.
if she could use Kindle because
Yeah,
she
now
had
she
just
can.
gotten one.
So we're excited about that, and I think that we might get another bump in our circulation with Wilbur just because of that new format, that now we're going to get this whole other group.
Do you have the instructions out on
We
the
do.
desk?
Yep, you can have this one actually.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Give it to her.
So that's good news. Another thing I wanted to talk about. Next week, the Iowa Library Association Conference is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I've gone for the past couple of years, and I always learn good things. So I was planning on going again next week. And I actually will share a room. It's so much cheaper when I share a room with somebody. And I've always shared a room with one of the librarians near Storm Lake, but she already had somebody to go with. So Kay Montano from Lakeview's going. So we're going to share a room this time. And she's going to drive, which means I don't have to pay mileage. So it really saves our budget when we do that. In our claims last month, I paid for my the fee to go for the conference. So the only thing that I'll have is the hotel bill, just half of the hotel bill, which is great. So it's Council Bluffs this year, so it's close by. It's not as far as it has been in the past, which is nice. Sharon Hardesty did our bulletin board this month for October. She is going to sell us one of her old Cricut die-cut machines. We've never had one, and we've always needed one because we always just hand-cut out letters, and it's so time-consuming to do the bulletin boards. So now we're kind of excited that we might get...
The cats are wonderful.
Those are really cool. So I don't really know how it works yet. She's going to come and show us how it works when we get the check approved. So it's in the claims for this month. I hope you guys are okay with that, but I think it's a good investment. It's just $75, and I looked online and they retail starting at $200 plus. The newer ones are like $400. So
Wow.
I'm kind of excited about that. We delayed installing the workforce development software. I think I talked to you guys last month about that. I think that we would be a good access point site. But we delayed doing that this month because we're having some problems with the way our setup in the computer room. And Iowa Computer Depot we've been on their list for, I think, 2 months now, trying to get some work done, but I guess they've been super busy, and so they still haven't gotten to us yet. So I'm delaying the installation of that software until we get those computers, the monthly maintenance done on them. So it'll be this month that we'll get that done, and I'll let you know at the next meeting how that's going for people and how it's going for staff. I think that is about it. We did start our children's outreach to Head Start and Kids World. Kathy goes there every other week on Thursdays at 10:30. And then Children's Story Hour began on Fridays at 10. So it'll continue through mid-December. Still having good turnouts for movies. And I was surprised. We ran Gone with the Wind, and we had 5 people stay for the whole thing. They did one intermission, because that's like a 4-hour movie, but they stayed for the whole thing. I can't believe they sat in these chairs for 4 hours, but they did. And let's see. The book sale, the Friends made about, I think Margaret told me it was about $350 on the book sale, which isn't bad considering the books are 10 cents and a quarter a piece. So that's not bad.
Takes a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work for
Yeah.
that small one.
The Friends aren't going to do a winter fundraiser this year. Last year they did the quilt silent auction, and they're not going to do it this year just because I think the quilters were so overextended with the quilt affair that it would be too much to ask of them to say, okay, now can you make us something like this?
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Okay,
Claims are okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Let me see, we have to, someone make a motion for approval of the claims.
Also move.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, motion passed. Okay, for our old business, we put the room for the DVD shelving on hold last month.
Just because we were looking for, trying to figure out the right procedures to deal with getting rid of one of the old tables. And I still need you guys to table it again because I am waiting on some more information about how to do that. I need to talk to Colin McCullough about the right way to do it.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And the EBSCO magazine quote?
that we had tabled a couple of months ago, and I finally got a quote from them about, initially I had asked them for 30 subscriptions. EBSCO subscription service is a magazine subscription service, and they manage like when the start dates and the end dates of your subscriptions are. So you pay a lump sum to them, and then they manage it for you. And it just takes all that processing of all those magazine subscriptions out of the equation for us, which I think would be wonderful. I initially asked for 30, and it was too pricey, so I asked them for a subscription count for 20, and the cost for 20 is $689.88. So that is for a full year of 20 subscriptions. Honestly, from our survey, our library survey that I just did, our statistics for periodicals went down about 150 circulations from last year, which I think is proof that we don't need to maintain all these subscriptions for magazines. We need to be cutting them back.
And how many do we have now?
We have, when I started there were 60, and I've been whittling it back each year, and now I think we have about 35 that we pay for every year.
And so what are you thinking of?
I think it should go down to 20. And then I think maybe even next year it should go down to 15. I just think that it's an expenditure we don't, there are some that go out, we can identify the ones through our catalog that go out all the time, and they are People and Consumer Reports and the Iowa magazines, like Our Iowa and the Iowan. There's a couple of them that we can see that go out all the time, yet the rest of them don't.
Brandy, do you have any choice on what those 20 are?
Yes. And so I gave them a sample. I quoted 20, and they are, it's kind of a broad range of things. There's like Scientific American, Reader's Digest, one cooking magazine, Simple and Delicious. That one seems to go out. Sports Illustrated, Time. There's a couple of children's. So it's kind of a mix. Yeah. So yeah, we can tell them which ones we want, and then they'll price it based on which subscription.
And
So
what did you say, the 20 would be 600 and then
it
it
is
is
$689.88,
For a year.
and that's with a 6% discount from EBSCO.
The 6% saves you a lot of extra.
Yeah, it saved us $44. So I think you'd have to tell me if you want me to do it. I don't know if you want to do a vote or approve that, because it would be a change in our expenditure, but it would be a savings to our budget. Right now, we spend about $1,200, and it would go down to about $700. So it would be a nice savings in the budget.
Okay.
It would be a savings to a staff time, not having to manage those. It just, for some reason,
Well, there's no sense in
It's
having
hard
them if they're
to-
not being used.
yeah.
That's why we put toward something that is being used,
Right.
DVDs or.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we accept the EBSCO magazine
Okay,
subscriptions.
I'll second.
okay.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Now, under new business, we've got E-rate application approval.
Yes, and E-rate, we've always participated in E-rate. E-rate is the way that we get a federal government discount on telephone service. And it's a good discount. I mean, it really means that for more than 6 months of the year, we don't pay a phone bill.
Wow.
So our phone bill right now is running us about $71 a month. So if you figure that out, I don't even know how much
Yeah.
that is, but, so it's a big savings. The problem is that since they've done, the state library and the library service areas have joined together this year, they're no longer going to do. What happened was we had a consortium called NELSA, and it was Northeast Library Service Area that managed it for Northeast services and for Northwest, which is our region. And Mary Riker no longer works there at the Northeast office, so she was the one doing it. So the state library has said that it's too much for them to do on a statewide basis, and they question if it's legal that they could do that, manage a consortium for E-rate for the whole state. They don't have the man hours to do it, so it's going to fall on us individually to file those forms, those federal forms to do it. And the state library though is going to do a training with us on how to do this. But I'm trying to like hedge my bets a little bit. Every year we had always approved you have to have your governing body, which would be the library board, approve your application. It has to be in our minutes. So I would like to ask you guys to approve it in the minutes this month so I don't have to worry about it next month, because they're going to be doing training this month. Next week they're doing an online training with us. There's going to be a face-to-face training in 2 weeks, I think. But I'm just concerned that by our next library board meeting, if we haven't, the board hasn't approved it, I might be in trouble, as far as getting that in our minutes before we've got to file that Form 486, which is part of a sequence of forms. It's going to be a big headache this year, but it is well worth it. I mean, if we can save several $100s in our phone bill, we need to do it. So I would ask the board to approve participating in E-rate this year.
Okay. Can I have a motion for that effect?
I'll move that we approve the application for E-rate. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't.
Yeah, I can't either. Is there a second to that motion, or does somebody have an opinion they'd like to express?
I guess I snuck my opinion in.
You didn't think I was going to ask you, did I? I almost forgot.
What's a second now? Go ahead. Again.
Is there a second to that
I did.
motion?
Yeah, I wrote it
Okay.
down.
All in favor?
Aye.
I-
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. The fiscal year 2012-13 budget calendar.
The city gave us their timeline, and I'll pass this around, about when we need to start the new budget for the next calendar year, 2012-13. And we are considered a board-managed department, and so the city administrator would like for board-managed departments to have our budget proposals to him by November 18th this year. Usually it's by the first week in December, but so it's up a little bit, and for us that means our budget committee is going to have to meet this month so that the board can approve a proposed budget by our next meeting on November 3rd.
We don't have a budget committee.
Finance.
Fine, we do.
Cheryl, Jean, Angela, and Jerry.
Yeah.
So would you like me to email all of you and find out when?
And it looks like I'm the chair.
Yes, it does.
Surprise.
Oh, my.
Cities.
Okay, so that committee has to meet way before
Well,
November 18th.
I'll email that committee. I'll email you and Jerry and Angela and Jean, and I'll ask you guys when you want to meet. Does that
Okay,
sound okay?
that would be great.
But it'll have to be this month sometime,
That's
so
fine.
that we can do a proposed budget before, so that the whole board can approve it at our November 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can get that like maybe tomorrow or Monday.
Yeah, I'll send it out
Oh,
tomorrow.
yes, I've got this.
That'll be great, then we can get that going and
No, I don't.
taken care of. And okay. So that's all you wanted to say on that?
Yes, I just want to make you guys aware of the new calendars out, and it's a little earlier this year.
Okay. And the next thing on the agenda is the Iowa Library Services Annual Report.
And I already talked about that a little
Yes.
bit, so we can skip over that one.
Okay. The mock
It was good.
OSHA review.
Yep, the city had OSHA come in and do a mock review, which it wasn't, it was basically a fact-finding mission to determine if we met OSHA requirements. And so we had, the library and city hall were kind of the two that didn't have as many, but we still had some violations that if we don't take care of them, and OSHA really did come in and review our building, we could pay some fines. So some of the things that they talked about, and Jim Johnson is the new safety officer for the city, so he will be working with us to correct some of the problems. One of them that I'll have to call ICN about is in the FOT room, in their equipment room back here. Like around the opening to the ceiling, there's a space, and there shouldn't be because it's a fire hazard. If a fire started in that room, it could whoosh up into the ceiling and cause a big fire. So they've got to come and fix that with that foam, I guess, stuff. But it's their equipment, they're the ones that made that modification, so I think they should come and fix it. And they come periodically to do maintenance, so I don't know if they would complain at home about it. Next time they're here doing maintenance, maybe they can take care of it. So that was one of them. Other things like not having a sign that says fire extinguisher over the fire extinguishers. We've actually got to have a sign that says fire extinguisher. We've got to...
Maybe you better put it in sign language too, in case,
I
in
guess it
Spanish.
just has to say fire extinguisher
And
on the
Braille.
sign.
Braille, that's what I meant,
Yeah.
Braille.
We have some exit signs. We need more exit signs. There needs to be one above the playroom or the play area.
Oh,
There needs to be one over by the reading area. There needs to be one at the back door.
let's say exit?
Yeah, there's one here at the back door. There needs to be one in the workroom that says exit.
Wow.
They went over doors.
Well, it has to be over the, they didn't say over this room, but over in the play area,
And
over
it
that.
points?
It has to point to the, yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm
So there's
Braille.
some exit signs and some fire extinguisher signs we need. Also, the lights that are over there by the children's area, and this is a good one, and I think this could happen, but they're not covered, and those lights get hot, and I could see kids throwing something over onto those, breaking a bulb or causing a fire or something. So we've got to fix that, put some kind of a mesh or something. All of the power strips throughout the library, we've got to put them up under, they sell those little cage things you can screw underneath the desktop, so we need to put them up where kids can't get to them. What were some other ones? Oh, the back door, we already fixed this one, but there was a trash can and the shredder were on either side of the doorway, and they said they could give somebody a trip, so we moved those.
It's where we all grew up.
I know.
Yes, we didn't even wear bicycle helmets.
I'm
What?
glad OSHA doesn't come to my house.
Another one that's going to cost us a little bit of money is in the janitor's closet. We have to actually have a locked cabinet in there for chemical storage.
Yeah, well, I can understand
And there's
that.
not a locked cabinet, it's just a little open shelving unit. That's kind of tipsy. So that'll be a little bit of an expense. So there are some things, but I don't know that it's going to cost us a whole lot. I really don't. And, it can come out of our maintenance budget.
Do we have to put lighted exit signs, or can you just cardboard?
Yeah, cardboard.
I don't know, I'll have to ask Jim. He knows which ones we need, and he's going to help us ordering signage and stuff like that. So I just want to make you guys aware of that. There are some things that we needed to do. But we were by far not the most, we didn't have the most egregious violations.
And is there a deadline?
No,
to have these
because
done?
it was a mock review, and so, I don't know that they tell you when they're going to come back. They should come back. But I think they let you get into compliance first, so. But yeah, ours were not so serious, they were just some exposed bulbs and some signs we don't need, or signs we don't have that we need, so it wasn't too bad. I was pretty pleased with that.
Okay. And then the last thing on the agenda is the grant station.
Yeah, and I just wanted to let you know that we did purchase a greatly reduced account with Grant Station. Grant Station is a company that will help you get in touch with grants, whatever your organization is. And they were having a special on TechSoup for $99. Usually it retails at like $500, $600, so it's
Wow.
a big discount. So I'm excited to get in there and look and see what kinds of things, maybe it'll pay off for us, and we can get a few more grants than we have in the past year, so.
That's
Hope
great.
that works out for us.
Okay. Is there anything else that someone would like to bring up? If not, may I have a motion for adjournment?
We didn't, excuse me, backing up just a little bit. Did you acknowledge the guest to give us the chance to speak?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think
Curtis
did.
Chris.
Yeah, you did actually.
I acknowledged him, but I didn't, I skipped right over comments from public.
No, I'm good.
You don't want to say anything. Okay.
Sorry
I
about
move
that.
we adjourn then.
There's a second?
I'll say.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned.
This is, yeah, one.